Now, this is all about family favourites, but I'd have to say, this is about my favourite. When I put this on the table, everyone loves it. And there's a few tips, if you pay attention, that I'll be able to pass on so that you'll be doing a cracking roast beef every single time.
I'm listening. My ears are pricked, Richard. I'm ready.
I can see that. One of the most important things is you buy really good beef. Australian beef is the best in the world. So this is a standing rib I got from my butcher. It's been dry aged. It's grass-fed. All the boxes have been ticked on this. And the other thing I've done, Preeya, is I've taken it out of the fridge and popped it on the board there. I've left it here for about half an hour. And what I want to do is allow that beef to come up to room temperature, and that will allow it to cook nice and evenly all the way through.
So no cold bits inside.
Exactly. Now, the other thing we need to do is we need to season it up. I've got some of this spray oil. This is extra virgin spray oil. And what I do is I give it a bit of a spray like this all the way around. You can just grab some vegetable oil or olive oil and rub it on, but I find the spray is really good.
Easy.
It covers everything really well. And I do this for a very good reason, because to make this taste good, we need to add salt to it.
Of course.
Salt loves meat, meat loves salt. So we're using Murray River pink salt, which I love. It's nice, flaky salt. It feels good when you put it on, and I find I use the salt a lot more accurately when I can feel it rubbing through my fingers. And that spray of oil on the outside makes the salt stick to it. Really, really important. Now, the next thing we need to do is put some pepper on there. So we just go crazy with the pepper milk. Plenty of pepper on there. The more pepper, the better, I find. Now, I've got some rosemary over there. If you want to, you can just grab a couple of stems of rosemary like that, and then we can seal it off with that. A little bit of fresh herb on there really, really helps. The other thing you'll notice is I've tied it up, and that holds it together when it cooks. Now, I've got my plunger on here really, really hot, and that's important because we want to sear it off properly. So pick it up like this and bring it straight over. That's the sound you want to hear. That sizzling, that smoking. You will smoke out the kitchen, so if you've got a barbecue outside, you can do it on that if you want. But I just love this smell all the way through the house. You know you're going to have a great day. You know you're going to have a great meal.
You don't put the fans on, do you? You want that everywhere. You want that meaty aroma through your home.
I'm one of these chefs, but it's always, you know, with the smoke alarm and the tea towel, that's me. Whenever I'm in the kitchen, I just smoke it out.
I'm glad that happens at your house too.
Now, have a look at that. See how it's browning off?
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for. That's going to give it a great flavour, but help to lock in the juices. If you can't do this on the stove, you can put it into a really hot oven. What I would do is heat the oven up to 240 degrees Celsius, pop it in there. You'll sear the outside in about 20, 25 minutes and then turn it down. And then we cook it through.
So the intention of this is lock in the juice, lock in the flavour.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That's fantastic.
The doctor and me's like, why are we doing this?
Exactly.
Okay.
Then I put it up like that, and you can see because I sprayed the outside with oil, I've got a bit of that oil coat on the outside, and I don't have all the oil spitting and making a hell of a mess. There's another pro tip for you.
Pro tip.
There is a bit of smoke coming off that, but that's okay, and I'll just sear the other side there and make sure that's locked in. Now, the ribeye is an expensive cut, so we want to make sure it's cooked to perfection.
How do you know, Richo? With a leg like this, my fear is you chuck it in the oven, how do you know?
This is where science comes in. Even though I'm just a humble chef, I use science. The art of time and temperature tells all. Now, I know that when this gets to a certain temperature on the inside, it's cooked to perfection. Now, I'm going to go for 42 degrees because I like my meat medium rare. So the best way to do that is with a digital probe. I pop the probe into the middle of the meat like that, and I know in the centre there, when it gets to 42, it's going to be bang on. But depending on the temperature is what you want. 42 is medium rare, 52 is medium, and anything up to that is up to you. Now, if you open the oven door for me, we're going to pop this in. So over we go. Preeya, the roast is in the oven, and I'm going to give you my little tip on roasting veggies. I use a roasting tray like this. I spray a little bit of the oil on the bottom of it, and I grab some baking paper and tear it off. You know when you roast veggies or you roast anything on an oven tray, they always get really dirty.
At the bottom,
Exactly. So I do that, and that is a great way of keeping things nice and clean. Now, we're going to cut the veggies up and throw them into the tray. I've got potatoes, I've got pumpkin, I've got carrots and onions cut straight through the middle. We make sure we cut them through the core there to hold them together. Very,
Have
very
I done
good.
well, Richo?
You've
Do you
done
approve
well.
of the onion cutting?
I shall approve of them.
Thank goodness.
Now, the trick with roasted vegetables is cut them to the right sort of size. Nice big potatoes. I leave the skin on because they look great.
Yes, and they're good for you. So I'm looking at this, Richo, and I'm loving it. We've got lots of rainbows here, different colours, good for gut health. We're going to get some veggies in. I'm liking this. And Richo, you could just have baked veggies for dinner. You could for a vegetarian, or if you just wanted to have a really light, easy meal. This is what I do sometimes. I just bake a tray of veggies.
That's crazy talk.
I know,
Roast
he doesn't love
beef. We've got lovely roast beef and lovely vegetables all going together. We should be a perfect meal for the both of us.
I know.
Because we've got veggies here and we've got the roast beef. Now, I've got some rosemary there. Grab that rosemary, sprinkle it on top. I love salt, so I've got salt on here. A little spray if you want to spray it on there. Or for me, you might as well drizzle plenty of olive oil over the top of it like that because we want it to taste really, really good, don't we?
We do. You don't necessarily need all those things, but look, they all add flavour. I agree with you.
I know. Now, I've got some oregano there, if you can put some of that on.
Yes, I
There we go,
can.
sprinkle that on. Lots of flavour, lots of herbs, and that is one of the best things in the world.
It is. I'm loving that. I'm already that's what I'm excited about.
Now, over there, I've got a jug in that little glass. If you can pass that to me, like that, there we go.
Oh, okay.
And pass that over there, and while you're putting that tray in the oven,
Oh, okay.
I'll have a glass of wine.
Do you want to at least open it for me, Richo?
Good idea. There you go. All right, we're ready to go. The beef has been resting for about half an hour and you're straight into the parsley?
I am. This looks amazing.
It does. Now, the secret, this is my pro tip, make sure you cut the string off because it's very, very chewy, so make sure you cut that off. Pair of scissors is all you need. Just remove that to there. I'm only going to cut the first couple of pieces for you and me to taste. You see how that string, because you asked me before about the string, see how it holds it together like this and actually keeps it nice and tightly packed, and then you just peel it off like that. Oh, this is the best part.
The best part.
This is
Jeez.
what I like to do at home. Everyone is just waiting for a piece of beef. They're sitting
waiting,
down.
they're salivating.
The kitchen, the table's been set. I mean, the kids have already washed the dishes because they know that they want to tuck into it. So once that string is off there, you're ready to carve it all up. And I'm just going to show you. Now, the most important thing is resting the meat because when you cook it in the oven, the muscle fibres contract. So if you put it on the chopping board and cut into it straight away, all the juices squeeze out onto the board. Big mistake. You want those juices to stay in the meat. So, Preeya, what you want to do is let it rest for half the cooking time, at least. And that means it's going to be nice and juicy.
That's often the hardest part, Richo, waiting.
I know.
My husband is a real stickler for resting meat.
Oh, yes.
And I'm like, it's not important, but now you've verified on camera that indeed it is.
It is the most important thing. And I've cut 3 slices and there's no juices on the board here. All the juices are in the meat where they belong. Now, if you like your meat cooked a little bit more, that's fine. But for me, this is the perfect way to eat it.
Spot on.
A nice medium rare. And you can see I've got some green veggies here, some beans, some broccolini. We sort of put them down the bottom there like that. And then we just load it up with some pumpkin on there, some carrot on there.
Look at all these
some
veggies.
potatoes on there, some more onion on there, a little bit more. You can roast just about anything. And then you grab this beautiful piece of beef, pop it over the top there like that. And then I've got a little bit of butter from this pan here. I'm just going to squeeze some of that over the top so it goes down over the top of. Look at that.
Sprinkle of parsley.
Sprinkle some parsley on there. And we also need some salt because salt loves meat, meat loves salt. On it goes. We make sure we season it up beautifully.
Wow.
A little over the shoulder. That way for the devil, he's looking over my shoulder. A little over that side there.
And on Preeya. All good.
A little bit over there. Now is the time we've got to tuck into this, Preeya. Knife and fork.
Go for it. I don't think there's a glamorous way to do this, Richo. You go on.
All right,
Maybe you could cut me a little bit.
I'm just going to spread that out a little bit and cut straight through the middle here because we've got a lovely big chunk of meat. Look at that.
So this is perfectly cooked. That thermometer has really helped, obviously, getting it to absolute perfection.
That is the thing that holds it together. So you grab that piece there. I'll grab this piece here.
Richo, chivalry. Richo, that is actually sensational. The meat basically melts in your mouth. That salty goodness. It tastes just like a Sunday family roast, perfectly paired with a Pinot.
Oh, we love a Pinot.
We do love a Pinot, but I'm loving the rainbows here. I'm loving all the veggies, and I love the way you look at your food.
See, I've got meat with veggies as well. That's
I
perfect,
know.
isn't it? Nice and healthy.
Absolutely winning, Richo. Cheers.
Oh, that is delicious.